Here we have the front end of the Submit.com platform. I will walk you through the front end as an applicant and their view of the platform before taking you to the back end as an administrator and showing you how you can review, analyze and report on the information collected. So here what you'll notice is the Submit logo, background logo rather, name and any messaging you can have here. This is highly customizable, so it can be on brand to be on par with your website, your social media, whatever you use. And currently what I have on this platform is two separate forms that are each collecting applications. One is based on a community benefit fund, another to do with a client application form. I'm going to use this one for the purposes of the walkthrough. So this is my domain name at the moment. Now this is my demo platform. So if you can imagine, it would be your company name .submit.com. This is the URL that you can plug in behind a button on your website, share on social media, or even print out a QR code to stick up a poster in a canteen if that's what you want to do, to allow people to scan the code and complete their form on a mobile device. The platform is completely mobile friendly and anybody can use any device that they have access to the internet with in order to complete a form. So I'm going to click on this form, and again, each form you create on the Submit platform will have its own unique URL. So that again, if I just wanted to share the link to this particular form, that's all I'd need to share. So here you'd have the name of the form or the application. You can have an opening or closing date shown. You can add a full description here and any eligibility criteria. Once somebody's reviewed this and they're happy to carry on, they can simply click on apply. Now I'm already registered. Here we go. I'm already registered on the platform up here. This is me. What we do recommend to our clients is to require applicants to register on the platform. This is only ever done the first time they visit the platform. It can simply just be their name and email address. You can include other basic contact information or company information, for example, if you want to, in that profile. And that information can be easily transported into any of the forms they're completing on the platform, which means you don't have to ask for the same information again and again. You've got it. They can easily update it if there's any changes or amendments that need to be done. Now, once they've clicked apply, what you'll notice is that on this screen, you have one question in the main body of the screen with all the other sections to the form that I've created here along the side. They can hop and skip between any of the sections and answer in any order. They can save and quit as they go. Will automatically save actually every time you've entered a question or an answer rather as well. But because of being registered to the platform, you can save and quit, come back later, change devices even, log in and pick up where you left off. The main thing I want to show you here is, and I'm not going to bore you by going through all these questions, but the main thing I want to show you here is the functionality, right? So if I zoom in a bit here, forgive me, the sizes. Right, so we have our basic, what we call small text type questions, where it's a one-liner, name of organization, name of group that you're in, whatever it may be. They can simply write in their answer here. Likewise, we can have yes or no type questions or multiple choice or multiple select. And anywhere where we are giving them answer options. And again, these can be highly customizable along the lines of your questioning and what makes sense in terms of the drop-down options you want to give them. But the great thing about this is anywhere where we have given them an answer to select, we can tag the answers on the back end. So as somebody is going through their application, they're actually self-tagging and filtering their own application before you even get to look at it, which is a very useful tool. And I'll show you a bit more of that on the back end. But simply here, I'm a nonprofit who's applying in this case for this form. Because I've selected that I was a nonprofit, it's asking, am I a registered charity? Yes or no. Now, if, for example, I have answered differently here, if I say I'm an individual and move on, it'll simply take me to the next question on the form. So you can add a layer of branch logic, just another layer of questions that will only appear to an applicant based on the information they've just given you on the form. So it's very useful there to keep it relevant to every applicant as they're going through the form. Okay, other question types. We have location based, we have multiple select. The location is useful because, let me see, where is that? Here, we integrate with Google Maps. So if I start typing in my zip code, my area code, whatever that may be, now we are based in Cork in Southern Ireland, that's where I'm at. So here I am. What this does is that it actually allows us to create a report on the back end, which again, I'll show you a little bit later, that will allow you to review and analyze and see on a map and print out that map if you want to, where all the applicants have come from. See the even spread across the country, the county, or wherever you may be. Okay, so other question types I want to do. Obviously, this may be very important. Uploading supporting documents. Now, every single bit of text you're seeing here, I have typed in, I have created. So this is heavily customizable again. You can also include different languages by manually entering it here. So the platform will support that. In this case, these are all the different file types the system will accept. So I can upload something direct from my computer. I can add any of these types, but also I can add a YouTube video link, a link to my social media or my website, a Vimeo video, whatever it is that you are looking for. You can leave it wide open so they can literally upload anything. Or if you were looking for some financial information and you just wanted it in an Excel file, perhaps, what we can do is very easily on the back end. You can unselect these other options so that only an Excel file will be accepted as an answer for question 12 here. So that can save a lot of time, people back and forth sending you the wrong types of documents. So that's very, very quick run through of what the front end looks like. As I said, I can save and quit. I'll save this for now. Yep. And again, what you'll see here, I've got multiple drafts. Simply because it's my demo platform, I've allowed myself to be able to apply multiple times here. Of course, in the real world, you may not want that to happen, and it's an easy yes or no option whether or not you want people to be able to do that. Okay, so now putting on my administrator's hat, I'm going to go to the dashboard. So what you'll see here is the immediate dashboard that everybody sees who is an administrator on your platform. You'll see how many forms are currently collecting applications, how many applications are in overall, and how many users. Users are the applicants. How many people are currently filling in these application forms. And likewise, team members. So I have 3 team members registered on my platform, allowing them to review any of the forms I want them to work on. So you can have granular permissions in place here. So for example, I've got 2 different applications currently being processed. I may have these 2 individuals on my team helping me manage this fund, whereas I don't have anybody else lined up here or assigned. So when these 2 team members log into their version of the platform, when they log in, they will only ever see this fund that they are working and assigned to work on. They'll never see anything else that their department or they themselves haven't been assigned to be working on. So it's very secure that way. We have multiple large and small organizations with multiple departments, government agencies using our software. We're completely GDPR compliant, so we're very tight in security, and I can send you some backup information in relation to that if you wish. Okay, so if we look at this one, simply because I've got more information in here to show you, what does it look like? Okay, you've people who've applied to a form. Now you need to review it. In the case of a grant, you can see I've set up a budget here. I can see what's been awarded to date, and I can see what's available, which is very important. I can see there's 38 applications in total. 33 of those are completed and 5 are in draft. So that's where my one is right now that I haven't finished. But if we just look at the 33 applications that are in so far, what you will get is a view, a snapshot of each person's application, first of all. And what you'll notice here, if I take Carmel's example, you can see their name, if there's any comments, uploads, attachments or messages on their application so far. I have selected some of the questions on the form, which we will get to be presented here in this overview. So I can see, first of all, if they're in any folder ready to be reviewed by either other team members or any external reviewers or stakeholders. It could be a board of directors, it could be a panel of judges or reviewers, whatever you need. So they will have access within their folder. For anybody we want them to see, we just simply put it into their folder. Likewise here, I can see at a glance, these are tags. These have been generated based on how this person has answered questions on their form. So if you remember the drop-down options we saw earlier, so I can see, okay, Carmel here, she selected that they were a non-profit. She's applied before. One of the questions was select the areas of interest. She selected goal 3. Again, this is completely made up, so I'm sure this will always make way more sense when it's based on your questions, because they'll be your tags and you'll recognize at a glance what each one of these could possibly mean. In comparison here, we can see, oh, this person's a past participant. They've been approved, they identify as female, and they selected goal 2. So at a glance, you'll get a really good view of, okay, who's applied. Now, if you were delegating some of these applicants, and certainly applicant types, to different groups of team members, or again, those reviewers, you can put them in order. So very quickly, I have 33 applications in. Let's just put them in. I just want to look at the females, for example, who've applied. Okay, again, this is based on tags. So we've gone from 33 down to 16. Okay, and how many of these have applied before? Again, that's based on one of the answers on the form. And we're now down to 1. Straight down to Karma. So again, if I view at this point, I can assign this to a particular team member or reviewer, as I mentioned, or again, I can just go in and view their full application. So all the answers to the questions will be completed and will be sitting in here, everything they've done. You can see that what's been uploaded in relation to their application supporting documents. That was another question type I didn't touch on earlier, but basically you can have, for all the world, like an Excel file, a grid that's on the form that somebody can complete. But what's great about it is that you can actually have the formulas put into place to do the calculations for them and for you. Very simply here, it was probably income minus expenditure will give you the balance, something like that. So if I scroll back up to the top here, I can jump straight into the uploads. What has this person given me in relation to applications? So there's an image, there's a video, there's documents. There's 2 documents here. 3 even. But what you can do is download, you can print, or you can simply open in a new tab. It opens full screen here just next to it. I hope you can see that. Okay. Media links. So again, this is where the YouTube videos are. You can watch. So you name it, anything they've uploaded, you can view all on the platform. So having gone through their application, maybe you have some questions. Maybe you need more information, whatever it may be. You can send this person a message through the platform. It's an email. You'll send them an email through the platform. They'll receive it on their end. They will be asked to click on the link within the email in order for them to reply. So what you would have is a full documentation of any messages or emails sent from you to them and vice versa, all stored and logged on the platform. So the platform can act as a communications hub really between you and the applicant. You can have a whole suite of emails, again, depending on what you want to say. You can have those templates saved here as well, so you don't have to rewrite an email every time. Likewise, you can create one from scratch if it's an ad hoc basis asking for some more information. You can even attach links in here, and you can attach attachments, I should say, which is useful if there's contracts and things like that going back and forth as well. So it's all very secure. What I will say as well is every action on the platform, whether it's the applicant, the administrator, or an external reviewer, everything is timestamped and fully auditable. Now, having reviewed this, whether you yourself and your team are scoring, if that's something that you do, or if it's a reviewer, you can have as many score bars as you require over here. So this is the side where we view everything the applicant has given us. On this side, this is where we can manage everything in terms of the application. What do we want to do? We can edit their application. We can convert it to draft if we wanted to. We can transfer ownership. So if Carmel is applying on behalf of an organization and they reach out to say she's no longer working here, you can simply transfer ownership to the new point of contact in that organization. So the application can still remain where it is in the workflow process. Okay, so I was talking about scoring. So up here, you can have as many score bars as you require. As long as it's a positive number, it can quite literally be any number. You can name each score bar whatever it is you want. So this is what I've given a title to each one of these. And in here, you can put in like a tooltip. So I've popped this in to help anybody who's scoring. What do I want them to do here? This is how I'd like them to score. And you can add a lot more information if you require. And likewise, they can add as many notes or feedback or concerns or queries they may have within this section as well. The great thing here is that I've given full marks, right? But if you can imagine a number of different evaluators are all scoring Karma's application here, you would actually have a list of each evaluator shown. You'd see the overall average score that evaluator has given this application. And then you would also even have the individual scoring breakdown. So each evaluator, there's 2 score bars, excuse me, how have they scored each one, any notes that are applicable to the score, and what have they given them. So there's a lot of information there you can collect. So now, mentioning data and information, let's get to reporting. So over here, You can get an overview on the reporting dashboard across all the forms, all the applications you're receiving in. You can even keep track of the grants that are going out if you're managing grants at all. You can see clearly what's been awarded overall, all the schemes, and what's been drawn down to date. And again, very importantly, what's remaining in the budget. So you can keep track of that very easily here. Then if I want to go in exclusively to look at a report on a particular form, so I'm going to stick with this community benefit fund as an example. Again, you'll get a breakdown here and the grants as well. But the summary, this is where you can pick and choose what data you want to show on this report. All reports are downloaded in CSV format. Simply select what you want to include here. So you can include everything, of course, across the board. So application properties are things like their name, their status, the tags that were generated, their scores, their tracking, their grants, you name it, right? Then you can also include all the answers they've given you to all the questions on their form. Again, really when it comes to the reporting, you can even have an office use only section. So I have a small kind of checklist form attached to this application that internally the administrators can kind of tick the boxes. Have they answered this and this? Have they uploaded this and so on, for internal checklists really. But you could include that as well if you wanted to here. Once I've selected what I want to see, you generate the report. You're going to get a preview here on the screen. But again, going back to the actual reporting and downloading this information, all reports are in CSV format and you'll be able to open it up in Excel and do everything you need to do on the back end. So here we have the report, the preview. Every column here is in relation to a piece of data we've selected on the forms to be presented. And every row is actually every applicant, every application that has come in. So as I said earlier, you can simply download this in CSV and open it up in Excel and do whatever it is you need to do there. You can, just so you know as well, we can receive payments through the platform. That's kind of used if you were, I suppose, selling tickets or membership, whatever, tickets, anything really, I suppose, that you receive payments for. We integrate with Stripe and it's connected directly to your Stripe account and you can keep log of that here. What I like and what I use quite a lot here, rather than jumping straight to the summaries, I'm quite visual, so I like looking at the breakdowns here. So these are stats and graphs that you can print out as PDFs. You get an overall status update here in relation to this form. 39 applications, 1 has been finalized, 5 in draft, and 33 pending reviews. That's where we were looking at Carmel just now. And then you can go into questions. So this is one of the questions on my form. Again, if it was one of your questions with your options, this is how it would appear. So you can print this out as a pie chart, a bar chart, as I said, in PDF, but you can also filter by date, by application status. You can also include even those, if you remember the filtering based on those tags. So if I wanted to see the females who, females who applied, so this is how they answered, and the females who've applied before, which I know is just Carmel, so I'm hoping I've answered this. Yeah, so she selected 2 of these. You see? So you can play around an awful lot with this. The one thing also I'd like to show you here is the map. I don't think I have any applicants in here, so forgive me, but if you get the idea, you would have a pin showing representation of all the applicants that have applied, and you can again filter based on the tags, by time, by application status to view who's applied where and when. So I hope that's been enough to pique your interest. More than happy to arrange a call and be very happy to customize a demo platform for you and walk you through one of your forms perhaps on the platform where it's been customized for your organization as well. So it's Dee here at Submit. Thank you for joining me, and my direct email is dee@submit.com. That's DEE@submit.com. I look forward to hearing from you.